You always hear channels like mine give advice to you about what you should be doing to get views on YouTube. But today we are going to flip that around and I'm gonna show you what YouTube says about how to get views on your YouTube videos. And the best part about all of this is YouTube also shares with us what they call the golden ticket, the thing that triggers promotion and exposure on YouTube. So look, if you are seriously and honestly wanting to improve what it is that you're doing on YouTube so you can get more views on all of the efforts that you're putting into your content, watch this entire video. And grab your notepad because we're starting right now with the homepage of YouTube. In this screenshot from the YouTube Creator Academy, they tell us that the section of videos that show up on the homepage are based on performance, which we'll break down later in the video. But they say that performance essentially means how well the video has engaged and satisfied similar viewers among other factors. And we'll be getting into some of those other factors later in the video. They also mention that a viewer's watch and search history also help determine if your videos are going to show up there. I also want to bring to your attention a really quick detail at the bottom of this screenshot for those of you that have questions about how long your videos should be. You'll see that YouTube says we need to get the viewers engaged. It doesn't matter if it's with a long video or several short ones. Here's the important part. The longer you keep them watching, the more your content may get surfaced. And I'm gonna emphasize that one real quick. They say the longer that you keep viewers watching, the more your content may get surfaced. And we're gonna break that down a little bit later. But now I wanna talk about search because I know a lot of you will target search traffic and I get questions about things like, hey Nick, my videos are optimized. I've got the right titles in there, I've got the right descriptions and tags and all that, but my videos are not showing up. Why? Well, let me show you what YouTube has to say about getting views from search. On this screenshot, you'll see that they say that like the Google search engine, which you can also use to get views from, by the way, YouTube strives to surface the most relevant results according to keyword queries. This is why me and other people who make content like me, the ones who genuinely want you to succeed on YouTube, this is why we're constantly telling you, make sure that you're including keywords or keyword phrases in your titles as long as your content type supports it. But anyway, they say here that videos are ranked based on a variety of factors, including how well the title, description, and video content match the viewer's query. As part of this, YouTube also tells us to write robust descriptions up to 1 to 2 paragraphs long if relevant. They also encourage us to brainstorm new video ideas by looking at search results for popular and less competitive queries, which by the way, TubeBuddy can help you with. If you're already a TubeBuddy user, you know this, but if you're not a TubeBuddy user, I've got a link to TubeBuddy down in the description below. It is a tool for YouTube content creators. It can help you with this part. But if you look on the right over here, you'll see YouTube says search considers many signals including the watch time of a particular video for a particular query. That means that just having the keywords or the keyword phrases in your titles and descriptions, it's not enough. In addition to that, you also have to generate watch time from the videos, which means when they show up in search results, if people are clicking on them and they're enjoying that content, then your content's likely to stay there. But if not, it won't. Now, check this out. For those of you targeting search, one of the things that YouTube tells us that will help us show up in search is to write searchable descriptions. Well-written descriptions with the right keywords can boost views and watch time because they help your videos show up in search results. They say to put the most important keywords towards the beginning of your description and to identify 1 to 2 main words that describe your video and feature them prominently in both your description and title. In fact, if you go into the YouTube Creator Studio dashboard, you're gonna see that YouTube shows us when we click the question mark in the description box that writing descriptions with keywords can help viewers find your videos more easily through search. And if we go up one box to the title area and click the question mark there, they say it's a good idea to include keywords your audience is likely to use when looking for videos like yours. And look, you're gonna hear some people tell you that the system is smart enough to know exactly what to put in search if you just upload the video with whatever title and description, but unfortunately the system isn't perfect yet. So because of that, adding these things to your title and your description, it helps give the system context to what your video is about, essentially making its job easier. Now, before we move on to getting views from suggested videos, I wanna share some more information with you about titles since we just went over some description stuff. I just wanna share some information that YouTube has to say about titles. When it comes to titles, YouTube tells us to write catchy titles, which I'm sure that we all probably knew that one already. But to add detail to that, they say to create titles that accurately represent what's in the content. The reason this is important is because if you mislead mislead people into clicking on your thumbnails and your titles, then they're not gonna end up watching that video for a long period of time because they're not getting out of that video what they expected when they clicked on it. If that happens and you're not getting that watch time, which means that the viewers are not having a good experience with your content, then you're putting yourself in a situation to where the system has no choice but to not show your content anywhere. You can see that they mention here, it's important to accurately describe your video so viewers stay to watch. If viewers don't stick around because the video didn't match their expectations, you'll see a drop in your audience retention, which can result in your video being less likely to be recommended by YouTube. They also mention this in the YouTube section of the Google help pages where they say, clickbait videos tend to have low average view duration and therefore are less likely to get recommended by YouTube. The important thing to take away from that part is be compelling, not misleading. And while we're on titles, here are a few more quick tips from YouTube about your titles. 1, keep them 60 characters or less with the most important information up front. Right around 50 characters seems to be the sweet spot depending on what it is you're viewing it on and so on. 2, save episode numbers and branding towards the end. 3, check your titles don't get cut off in suggested videos, search results, and mobile. That part right there is why I recommended the 50 characters. You wanna make sure that anything that's important for the viewer to have context for the video is within the first 50 characters or right around 50 characters of your title. Now let's move on to getting more views from suggested videos. Here, you'll see YouTube says suggested videos are ranked to maximize engagement for the viewer. What that means is it's not necessarily about YouTube promoting your content, it's more about YouTube showing the viewer, the user of YouTube, the content that they are most likely to enjoy at that moment in time. According to YouTube, signals that contribute to these recommendations include videos that viewers watch along with the current video or videos that are topically related. You know, I'm constantly telling you to use your end screens and make sure you have links to relevant content in your video descriptions and pinned comments and all that good stuff. This is why. YouTube even tells us to make strong calls to action for viewers to watch another one of your videos. What that means is, as your video is coming to a close, instead of wasting the viewer's time with a bunch of things that they don't care about, it's more important to just recommend another piece of your content to them. They also say to use playlists, links, cards, and end screens to suggest the next video, as well as develop a series of videos that are organically connected. This is so that you can make it easy for people that are interacting with your content to watch more than one video at a time. And in this situation, you win because you're getting more views and watch time. YouTube wins because they are getting more watch time or more time on platform. And the viewers win because you made it easy for them to find more of your content that they enjoy. Everybody wins. Now, before we get into the golden ticket, there are a few more things that I want to show you. The first is about thumbnails. YouTube says 90% of the highest performing videos have custom thumbnails. Use them. YouTube also says that your thumbnails and titles work together as a team to build anticipation while accurately representing what's in your videos. The reason that I mention this one is because it's important to stop thinking of your thumbnails as one thing and your title as another thing and start thinking of them together and how they work together for you to win the click. But be careful. According to YouTube, in this warning in the YouTube section of the Google help pages, clickbait videos tend to have low average view duration and therefore are less likely to get recommended by YouTube. Remember, be compelling, not misleading. Next, YouTube tells us the following. If viewers are returning to your channel regularly to watch more, they're more likely to be recommended more of your videos in the future. This is why consistency is important. This is why niching down is important. This is why making sure that you're focused on making content for a specific type of viewer is important. The more they return and enjoy your content, the more likely they are to get recommended more of your content in the future, which brings you more views. Now, as we start leading into the golden ticket, there are a few things that I want to bring to your attention. In documentation about titles, they say that if your retention is low, your video is less likely to get recommended on YouTube. And in this one, they say the longer that you can keep people watching on YouTube because of your content, the more your content may get surfaced. I would like to emphasize the your content part of this and just remind you what they said before about leading people into playlists and making it easy for people to find more of your content. And for all of you who think YouTube has something against you, they don't. They tell us that the systems have no opinion about the type of video you make and they don't favor a format. They follow that up by saying, instead of worrying about what the algorithm likes, it's better to focus on what your audience likes. If you do that and people watch, the algorithm will follow. In other words, the way to win in the algorithm is to make content that people enjoy and that they can continually come back to your channel for, which leads us to the golden ticket. Dun, 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 dun. This information is labeled under the average view duration and watch time section for obvious reasons. They say the golden ticket is to make sure your viewers want to watch all the way through your videos as measured by average view duration and watch time. They follow that with, think about how your audience can engage more frequently with your content, which can help increase promotion and exposure on YouTube. Another reference to this is found when researching on how to get more impressions. They say, the best way to get more impressions is to consistently make great content that viewers love. So to get results on YouTube, you have to go through the process of learning how to make content that people really truly enjoy. It's not a, hey, how can I just get people to click on this so that I can get that view? You gotta get them to click on it, and you have to actually create content that people enjoy and that they would be excited or look forward to coming back for. And if you focus your efforts on adding value to the viewers that are interacting with your content and just making great content for them, instead of always thinking, how can I get the algorithm to work in my favor? If you just focus on the viewers, then you're gonna get more views on YouTube, according to YouTube. Now, remember that part earlier in the video where I was talking about recommending additional content to people that are watching your videos to make it easy for them to find more content that they care about on your channel? This is how you do it. I have videos right here that are going to help you with your YouTube channel. Click into this playlist right now. And if you haven't yet, make sure you subscribe. Thank you so much for watching. I'll see you next time.